So, you wanna run the new dungeon? Good luck.
Nah, I'm just playing. This video is here to help you along and show you the ropes on how this dungeon works. I'm BioRaker with the clan GetTaniksAHouse. Let's get the show on the road. A general recommendation for this is you want to be at least 1035 power. For this activity in the beginning is 1040 and the final boss scaling all the way up to 1060. Alright, let's just get straight into it and dive into the first encounter. This first quote-unquote encounter here is not so much an encounter as much as it's just trying to show you how the dungeon works. Now, when you first spawn in, you'll notice an aura around your HUD similar to that of when you enter a darkness zone. However, if you notice, the aura changes color from dark to light, depending on where you stand. Standing in a dark area and killing a night echo will make him drop motes of dark, and killing a knight while standing in a lighted area will make him drop motes of light. Once you have this mechanic nailed down, the rest of the activity is just different arenas and variations of this exact thing. With that in mind, this first encounter, the hallway if you will, is pretty straightforward. There is a door that is locked by two pillars, one of dark and one of light. In order to unlock said door, you need to collect 5 motes of the appropriate shade. Each knight will spawn in 3 motes when defeated in the proper aura, and you have to kill 2 knights to get a total of 5. Once you've gone and picked up 5 motes, you will start carrying them around like a Warmind cell. Head over to the correct pillar and dunk the motes. You do this by pressing the primary fire button once you're in, on, or hovering near it. Once you've done that, the pillar will disappear. Simply do that again to the other pillar and the door will open. There will be a second door, again locked by 2 pillars. Simply rinse and repeat from the previous door and congratulations, you're done. After opening up the second door, you'll see a scary fallen echo guy. He won't actually do anything to you, just kind of look at you menacingly. Just follow him, jumping up some rubble. Once you get to the top of the rubble, you'll see the arena where you'll be fighting next. This fight isn't too complicated and builds upon what you learned from the hallway. Once started, there will be 4 pillars, 2 dark and 2 light. The boss will be immune to all damage until you have dispelled all 4 pillars. Knights and scions will spawn in, and it's business as usual. Clear out the scions, kill the knights in either the dark or light areas, collect the motes, and dispel the pillars. One thing to note is that when you get rid of a pillar, the light and dark areas of the arena will shift. So just be on your toes and be prepared to use the entirety of the arena. You won't be able to hunker down in one area the entire time. Once you've cleared out all 4 pillars, it's time for boss damage. But if you really want to melt him, Nobleman Warlocks with Oppressive Darkness grenades and the new sword, Falling Guillotine, will make short work of his health bar.
Alright, go for it. GG's.
Once you defeat the boss, your chest will spawn with some sweet loot. In order to advance in the dungeon, everyone needs to jump into the purple pool in the middle of the room. This will teleport you to the Wasteland. The Wasteland is just like the hallway encounter from the beginning, in the sense that it's more of a filler type of encounter than an actual dungeon encounter. Once you spawn in, you're going to be teleported into a large open desert area. There will be landmarks in this area, giving you a reference point as to where you are. In order to advance to the next encounter, you will need to clear out 3 areas infected with taken blights. After the final blights have been dealt with, a text prompt will appear saying that the way is open. If you stand on top of a dune, you will notice 2 large squares in the distance. Depending on your perspective, the one on the right will be the next encounter. Head over to it to proceed. There's a secret chest in the Wasteland too, and I'll show that on screen now. Now on to what we call the cube room. Upon entering the cube room, you're going to notice it's a giant cube hovering above you. Hence why it's called the cube room. Anyway, the goal of this encounter is to clear or cleanse the 6 sides of the cube. When you start the encounter, Toland will appear on one of the plates on the walls or ceiling of the room that you're in. Under each plate there will be a pillar of either dark or light. And if you guess that you need to dispel the pillar that's under Toland with the appropriate motes, then you are correct, and you probably shouldn't be watching this guide anymore because you obviously know what's going on. You know what? Never mind. Let's just continue. 2 taken hobgoblins will spawn in the rafters along with a bunch of acolytes on the ground. Your priority is the hobgoblins as they will one-shot you if you're under light, and killing them triggers the spawning for the knights in order to gain access to moats. So, some people shoot the hobs while some shoot the ads. Mountaintop and Xenophage both one-shot the hobs once you are at appropriate light level. Scouts and snipers also work though. Once you have cleared the correct pillar, the plate in the middle of the room will light up and everyone should jump into it. You will be sucked up, and the cube or the room, whichever way you want to look at it, will flip or rotate. You might be a little disoriented when you first experience this, that's fine. After a few more runs you get used to it. Reorient yourself and repeat the process as before. Locate Toland, clear the hops and ads, kill the knights, dump the motes, and jump into the middle. You will need to do this 6 times, or until all sides of the cube have symbols on them. Once you have cleared all the sides, you will be flipped one more time, and the 2 yellow bar taken centurions will ninja themselves in. These guys are fairly squishy and can be killed with literally anything. You could look at them funny and they'd fall over crying. It's pathetic. Defeat them and claim your precious loot. Now, onward we march to what is deemed as Destiny's Rainbow Road. After completing the cube room, hop back up into the doorway where you will be transported back into the wasteland. No need for more clearing up lights though. The scary taken fallen guy will be there again. Just follow him to the opposite side of the map where you go through another trippy doorway and be greeted with either a very cool view or PTSD. What has been deemed as Rainbow Road is a vast expanse of platforms and long stretches of track for you and your sparrows. The goal is to get all the way from one side to the other side without falling into the bottomless pit underneath you. You can either take the sparrow tracks or you can take the slower path of platforming. It's your choice. If you're going for a solo or a flawless, probably platform. But, if you don't care, just have fun with your sparrow, dude. There is one more secret chest in this room that will be shown on screen now. Once you have arrived at the bottom, you will be sucked into this big pyramid-looking thing. There will be a big horde to take in thrall, but you can ignore them and proceed to the final encounter, the big boss fight. Like most endgame activities in Destiny, the final boss is an accumulation of everything you've learned in the previous encounters. This dungeon is no different. First thing you'll notice is that the room is in the shape of a triangle. At each point, there will be a pillar of either light or dark. Nothing new here. Kill the knights, collect the motes, and dunk them. What'll really complicate things is that there's a copy of the boss in each corner of the room constantly pelting you. And on top of that, the boss and the ads in here are all 1060 in power, and this can spiral out of control really quickly. Before you start the encounter, decide with your team which side to cleanse first, and then after starting it, kill the knight and bank on that corner as soon as you can. Once you dispel the pillar in that corner, the copy of the boss sitting there will disappear, finally giving you a safe place to lay your head down for the night. After the boss disappears, a taken ogre will spawn in. Just take him down quickly. You'll have to repeat the process 2 more times, once with each remaining corner. After the 3rd corner has been cleansed, the boss will fly into the middle of the room and disappear through a teleport plate on the floor. Everyone jump in the middle plate and you'll be teleported after him. You will arrive in a long, stretched hallway-like room with platforms. This will be where you're doing boss damage. The big thing in this room is the introduction of dark entropy. If you're too far away from the boss, you will gather stacks of dark entropy. And you guessed it, when you hit 10 stacks, you die. So really just stay close to the boss while you're damaging him, in order to, well, not die. Big Man also has a modified Taken Captain attack that will teleport you backwards into the room if you get hit by it. Oh, and I forget to mention the hobgoblins that are sniping at you the entire time with pinpoint accuracy. Yeah, if you have it, Anarchy is probably the king of damage options here. If not, Wither Horde is a good alternative. Once the boss reaches the other end of the room, he'll become immune and teleport away. Jump into the purple again to follow him. You'll be transported back into the room where you started, but just like the cube room, it'll rotate around and you'll have to get some new geometry to work with. Repeat just as you did in the first room. Clear one point of triangle quickly, then the other two, and follow the boss at the third, and do some more damage. He also doesn't have a rage mechanic, which means you can do as many damage phases as you need. So take your time, play carefully. You can do it. I believe in you. Once you defeat him, he'll drop a pinnacle reward and you will be teleported one more time in front of the big emissary lady for one more loot drop. And that's it. Congratulations. You successfully ran through the Prophecy Dungeon. If you found this video helpful and you liked it, go ahead and like it. And if you're looking for a clan, go ahead and check the description for a link to our Discord.